during the session. Now, to kick us off, let me hand it over to Mickey, and he'll take it from here.
Thanks, Michael. So I'm from a company called Maya, and Maya stands for Most Advanced Yet Acceptable. It's an acronym, and it really is sort of to remind us what we should be focusing on. We look at the intersection of sort of the most advanced connected technologies and connected information, but how do we make that acceptable for normal people? And that's really what we focus on. And in a sense, we focus on taming complexity, sort of taking the power that complexity has and taming it so that normal people can actually use it and maybe be superhuman in some respects by having the power of taming complexity. So let me get used to moving this slide forward. We recently released the first report from our journey. So we have been studying and researching this for about 22 years. We spun out of Carnegie Mellon University about 22 years ago. And we've been looking at what happens after the net, what happens after the web, what is the next big information revolution. And we've sort of put together a field guide for the Internet of Things and the Internet of People and the Internet of Environments and Products. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So if you think about it, the story starts with our climb up the current mountain of complexity. Let's think of this as PC peak. It's sort of the amazing explosion that we've had. Basically making a little thing you can keep in your pocket, like a pocket supercomputer that's like a PC. You look into it and you see something. And we've done a lot of work to get there. If you think about it, we now have, 4 to 6 billion cell phones. You can talk to people on the other side of a planet by swiping your finger on a piece of glass, and 140 characters can topple governments. I mean, that's pretty amazing. But what happens when you climb to the top of a peak is you often find that there's something else beyond this peak. You find that there's even a bigger mountain just kind of over the horizon. And it turns out there is this much bigger mountain. When we got to the top of 4 to 6 billion, PCs in the form of, pocket supercomputers, a bunch of people who were doing this research saw this massive mountain over there. And we started building kind of a better view for that mountain and starting to think about how to get there. And what really happened was we realized that it was a mountain filled with trillions of devices. And so not just billions, not 4 to 6 billion, but trillions. And maybe we should stop here and kind of do a quick poll about how big a trillion is. One of the ways that someone explained to me to understand big numbers is to treat them like seconds, count back in seconds, and think about how big that is. So how big is a trillion? And that's maybe our first question.